Gonna be the left side going on first. Got all my tools out here. Bunch of damn bolts. Most of those green bolts, all the green bolts are grade 5. I'm gonna use those everywhere except for right there. I'll get some grade 8 for that. I should have those in the shop in grade 8. And I need to bring some of these bins out here and separate all these bolts into separate bins. But that's kind of time consuming, so I'll let my helper do that. And then I'll have bins specifically for this. I'm trying to set up a shelf in the shop for all my bolts, because right now I just have in bags here and there and they're not organized, and that's really holding me back as I move forward. So that's what everything looks like. A little bit of primer. Missing a little bit of primer right there on the end. It's okay. I'm going to put this left side in first and see how it looks. As I was grabbing that to set that in, I thought, I brought all this out here, and I didn't bring a pointed pry bar to line all these holes up. But since I replaced the flat strap, that old flat strap right there, on the inside of this and raised it up a little bit, this fits a lot better. In fact, it fits in the hole pretty good, see? Goes right in. So, I probably won't need a lining pin tool, but I'm gonna get one anyway, because once I get between those frame rails, I don't want to have to get back out. That's the tool I needed right there. Comes in handy. I've been trying to edit my videos with video edit software. I know how to upload a video, but I just got schooled today because one of the videos wouldn't upload. It said there was too big a file. So I don't know what to do about that. But I got to figure out how to edit videos. I can upload a short one, but I don't know how to add the second one to it. I'm gonna have to find somebody that knows the program I'm using, or can show me a different program, and then we'll start using the other camera and editing our own videos. So we get some of this bolted up and we'll go from there. Okay, I'm going down through here. Got a bolt in the front hole. That's one of the alignment holes, basically. That hole and either those two or the back two. That top hole I haven't got to go in yet. It wouldn't go in from the outside. These holes went in pretty easy. This one here's loose. This one I had to knock in with a hammer. And one of these I did. The bottom went right in. I thought, no, I guess it did. It's pretty loose. Okay, so I put the top ones in. They don't need to go in until the mount goes on. But I wanted to see how lined those holes are, because I have not made these holes in the top bigger yet. These holes in the top I should be reaming to 9/16 or even maybe even 5/8, depending on that crush sleeve in there. But I put this bolt in here just to pull this together, the crush sleeve, and look at that. That goes in and out like it should, and this one here does too. So I think that one does too. That one's probably a little closer, but I haven't pulled it up yet. Oh, there. Yeah, it goes in by hand. This one went in by hand too. That means I've got these crush sleeves the right length at 2 inches. I was going to make them longer on the production version, which brings this out 1/8 of an inch, which is what I need to make this distance between here 29 and about 1/16, which is what I need. This is going to end up being about 29 1/4, and I'll have to use a spacer on the end here. But it's going together okay. I haven't tried the 3/8 bolts in the top. I don't even know if I have any here. I think I got some 3/8 grade 5s, but I know I bought some grade 8, grade 2 at Home Depot, because that's all they got. And I broke those off. Had to replace them, so I got some here somewhere. If I don't have them somewhere, I'll have to get some and stick in there. I got to ream that back hole, which I don't have. I'm inside the frame, and I don't have the drill with me, so I'll have to get out to get it. Ream the outside hole, But I don't have any of these tight yet except for this one to pull the frame together. So I'm going to loosen that up, ream that back hole, get all these on here, tighten up all the bolts and leave these open. I'm going to leave these in here while I tighten them up and see what happens. These top bolts, I'll leave these in here. I'll tighten up this one. I'll have no bolts in here. I'll tighten up all these and see how this lines up. I don't know if I can see down inside there, but I might have to get my little probe camera out here to see how that one lines up, and then see how the bottom ones line up. According to measurements, they should, but that don't mean they will. So this may have to come back out. May have to drill some of these top holes and bottom holes out to make everything line up, because we already do have the weld-on nuts inside here. Inside the top, okay, inside here in the top, and in the bottom down here, there's two there. There's one on this angled piece here, and there's like three along this flat plate. Now, the other thing I want to tell you guys is the factory, well, I should say the production version of the box, the frame box, will be cut off right here and right here somewhere. Okay, and it'll just be this center section. Now there's two extra holes here because I got a plate to go behind there to where you can buy this back section separate, and it has two holes and then these other two holes, and then that plate goes behind them with nuts on it where you can join those together and they'll be structurally sound. Anyways, but as we talked about this truck, I've overbuilt this one. He's going to run a 7.3 in here, son. I think that's what the Coyote is, 7.3, isn't it? Not the Coyote, I'm sorry, the Godzilla motor. Anyway, so there we'll go with that. May develop some other frame filler plates or a cross member to go across here. Bolt-in cross member for guys that want something different there. Transmission cross member. But I'm going to have to come up with another frame because this guy's ready to get his truck back. So let me do some more on this and then we'll get back to you. Okay, so I reamed that back hole with this reamer. Bridge reamer. Amazon. Now I don't know why it was so off, because it lined up before. Well, other than I use this side as a template, and I put the tubes on that side, and then I copied from that side to this side. So we got just a little bit off right there in that one hole, but that's okay. Everything else went in. On the production version, I'm going to move this hole right here over to about right in here somewhere where I can have a hole the same distance apart like these right here, and get rid of these holes. These are steering box holes, and they don't have all three of those on the other side in the same spot. There's some over there, and this one here I think is too close to the top to put a tube inside of it, crush tube. So I think we'll move it just a little bit forward here, because you got the frame box is going to have a part, as we talked about, right here on the inside, and there's holes there like that with a plate to go behind it to tie it together to this structural piece that'll go in the back. Now, that structural piece, I'm almost done with the CAD drawing. After I change these holes here, it'll have 6 holes basically right there, and so you can buy that piece separate and make your frame stronger right there. And if you wanted to, you could do the same thing. You can run a piece on back under the cab and weld it in, make your own, and then tie it together right there where it bolts in. Or you can make a bolt-in piece, sort of like I just did with the crush tubes. It's just 1-inch DOM with a quarter wall. Now I do have to ream it with that. And what I do is I'll take those little tubes and I'll put them in a vise with a piece of leather around them, like this. This is a piece of 7/8, and I made it 7/8 because this hole that's under here is real close to the bottom. So I don't know if the 1 inch is going to fit there, but I made this just in case to find out. And I also needed to check to see my depth here. This is 2 1/8, where the rest of these are 2. And I wanted to see if that's going to work with the plate that goes on there. And it looks like it's going to be short. Now, I'll have to put a bolt in here and here and pull these up tight before I measure that and see if that's going to work. If not, then I'll make some more. And I'll also see if this works. If it doesn't, if the 1 inch will work, I'll make a 1 inch right there. If not, I'll send it with these. These will be loose on the frame plate. They will not be welded. These 2 bottom ones will be loose. See? Anyways, that goes there. So, as I was saying, I drill these out, put a piece of leather around it, and just run that reamer through. I had to run it through that and the 1 inch to make a bolt. And the threads of the bolt will fit through it like it is, but the shoulder will fit through it after you ream it. So that's what I have to do. But hey, that's a pretty good fit if that's all you have to do. I've only got about 5 more minutes out here, and that's going to wrap up our hour outside. Basically what I've been doing is putting in an hour outside, then I'll put in another hour or more inside working on those plates, or the mount that goes on here, or the crossmember. I already started on the crossmember, so that's what I'm going to work on for the next hour. I may go ahead and finish out the plates, because the only thing I got left to do on the plates is to put the end cam loops on them, so I can mount them out here. I may do that next, but I'm going to go ahead and zip all these bolts together to see what I got to do here, because I can be cutting these tubes on the bandsaw while I'm working on other stuff. The bandsaw can be cutting by itself. Okay, bolt tight. All those bolts are in and tight. With that impact, I mean, it's not a big ½ inch. I got a big ½ inch over there on the table. These right here, you can see, those are all loose. So I've got my line up there. Now I do need to I'm going to put some bolts in here and tighten them up. See if any of that changes, and check my bottom pieces to see what they need to be. They end up probably need to be, instead of 2 1/8, they probably end up be 2 3/16 or 2 1/4. My guess is 2 3/6. Let's find out. Okay, 2 bolts in there, tightened up. All these are still loose, so I'm happy with that. I'll check those holes from this edge over. Make sure my drawing is correct. But now we got to check the bottom hole. And oh, look at that! It's real close right there. It's real close against the bottom right there. So 7/8 OD is going to be great for that. But the length is just a hair short, 2 1/8. So I don't think 2 1/4 will be right. I think it'd be too much. So we're going to go with 2 3/16 on those. I'm going to make some. I'll cut some with the saw here when I go in the shop to work on the rest of this. Get my helper to bring all this stuff in and start organizing these bolts. And then I'm going to go ahead and finish out these outer mounts, so I can bolt these on and see how well they fit while I'm working on the cross member today. And then after that, which should be right around 9:30, I've got a whole bunch of control arms to build. So that's it for today. I know it's not that exciting, but you guys that have the 55, 53 to 56, I mean, you guys see what you're up against. Do you want to go with the whole thing like that, or just the part up front? Hey, some of you guys that can weld, hey, all you got to do is plate the back of that. all the way back. I know somebody makes plates for those. You don't need to buy that extra pieces. And if you already have one that's already plated right here, there's 2 ways you can do that. You could mark and drill those same holes that I got right there, and put you some nuts behind there, or you could cut that out to let my box fit, or you could even drill holes to the side and then run a 1-inch bit through there and take tubes, 1-inch tubes, and weld them into the frame right there, crush tubes. Just weld them right into the outside of the frame, grind it down. Hey man, that'd be pretty cool. You could even go through both plates, the inside and outside, with 1-inch, weld from both sides, grind it down. It'd be pretty strong. Several ways you can do that, but basically this is made for guys that want to do 100% bolt-on. So that's what we're doing with this. Let's see. The next part, we'll get that other one done, and we should be able to mount the upper control arm mounts. The other thing is I've got to measure for that back mount, because I'm going to have a special plate, because I'm not going to put any more holes through the frame for the rear arm mount. It's going to be because like on the 65 to 79 chassis, the holes are kind of at an angle, so I know they're not going to line up with this, but we can make a special plate to go onto those holes right there somewhere to use my same J arm mount, or we can go with the tubes that triangulate the front of this and go with the A-shaped arms instead on this one. This system's going to be modular, so you can go with either one. But as you guys know, on my cross members, we have the option of using an A-shaped arm that doesn't have that big long tube that sticks out the back. If I can figure out how to post a picture into a video, I'll do that. If not, maybe I just video of a picture, something cheap where you can see what I'm talking about. Till then, guys, peace.